The masterclass is about the love for making films. The main thing is that I want you to play. So if you listen to your instinct, your decisions are quicker and you work faster. And if you don't shoot faster, you will not go into a panic because you know you're going to get it. I think it's time. I really think that filmmaking is in a major transition because it's too expensive to make anything, interesting. You can't find the money for it. So we have to find other ways. We have to reinvent the wheel. And I think this is part of it. If this happens, the scene's about this. And it's magic.
Rotterdam is home to the first film factory. In just 8 days, 30 gifted filmmakers will be working together. The participants are coming from all over the world.
Costa Rica,
Belgium,
Lebanon,
Amsterdam, from the UK originally.
The main goal is to inspire them to work with their intuition.
I know I'm stronger, faster, better, right? But you left out one thing. I'm not a man anymore. I'm a freak.
Well, I'm not a very tactful person.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm a film editor.
I don't love you anymore.
Hi, my name is Claire.
Of course, Rutger isn't the only master. More than 20 film experts are helping the participants.
Everybody is learning from everybody.
That's what I like. I feel very happy.
No? Why not?
I'm the director of the group, and so obviously I direct the actors, and that's about it.
So our crews consist of people from all places, and then we all have our own way of making movies. Everybody has his own cultural backgrounds, and then together we try to make something nice.
I'm part of this workshop actually to bring my skills to a higher level. And I think it's a great opportunity to work with Rutger, to see how he thinks about acting, directing. He has so much experience.
This course is like a way for me to explore the possibilities, see where I'm good at, and see the points I have to learn maybe a lot.
I want to grow as a producer and see more of like the production process itself in pre-production, because I'm less experienced in that.
Once in a while it's good to update yourself and refresh yourself with new impressions and meeting people who are also in the business and just confront yourself with other people, and that's really nice.
The 30 participants are divided into 6 groups, each one including a director, writer, editor, producer, and a director of photography. Each group is to make a short film in just 8 days, but they also have to attend classes given by the experts, and during the first days, they also have to make a film based upon the same script, entitled 911.
We gave the participants a screenplay that we had. We gave them the actors, we gave them the sets, we gave them, all the tools, the camera, everything that we need to. There you go. Hello.
Rutger took the male role of the film, and the female part was played by Barbara Wiltshire. The filming took place simultaneously on 2 locations.
Well, the first assignment was a real joke. I don't know how everyone else finds it, but we had no time to prepare. We had an hour and a half to shoot a 25-minute piece of drama. I'd never seen the script.
Well, it's basically 2 people, a woman who's trying to commit suicide, and she randomly dials a phone number, and a guy picks up. He's in his car, and for some reason he doesn't hang up, and they ended up establishing a very interesting relationship throughout the phone.
You're really fucked up.
The rehearsals were with different actors, but as a result of the inevitable technical problems, everybody had to improvise.
The first time we tried shooting it, I only had my own lines on the screen, and he only had his, so we didn't really know where we were because we haven't really read the script. Well, we read it, but only once, so that kind of went wrong, and then they tried to put the whole script in his prompter, and then that didn't work, and then we just read it.
Hello?
I have a gun to my head, and in exactly 60 seconds, I'm going to pull the trigger and blow my brains out.
I want them to read their lines so they don't have to learn them. They're just on the spot, as a response to what they hear. Trying to work out the glitches here.
When the prompters were fixed, the teams could start filming. One team filmed Rutger in the car, and the other was on the hospital set. Producer Jos van der Linden and DOP Robbie Muller were on hand to lend assistance.
I want everything as simple as possible, as possible for us. And I don't like these kind of things, a lot of shots, mini shots. That's my personal feeling.
Yeah, but I kind of like it when I'm a little bit higher, because he's sitting straight up in the car and she's laying down in the back, you know. So maybe it doesn't really matter a whole lot if she's like lower in the frame on the left and he's right up with his face.
We'll see what goes. We can only do so many things at one time. This film doesn't have to be finished.
Don't worry about it.
You just go play with it, okay? The editors may get a film out of it. If not, it's just an exercise, playing around.
Yeah, I feel a bit lost, that I can't say, okay, everybody shut up and let's go now.
But I don't think that one can get the best out of any situation if one overly controls.
And don't worry about the lighting or the continuity, because the first thing you always say when you walk on set is fuck continuity. Get creative.
She's dead already.
Guess what? Wait a minute. The light changed. Why is that? Well, who knows? It was a choice. Yeah, whatever. It's 911 for God's sake.
Cut. Thank you.
Well done.
Well done, Barbara.
Yeah, well done, everybody.
After 2 hours of filming, Matthew, the director of the first film, has serious concerns about the lighting for his shot.
And for me, it can go down. Did you have to see something?
Yeah, sure. So the two choices are either we retake it and Barbara doesn't move as forward as much and we save it and it's better for continuity, or we stick another light in and risk the fact that it won't cut because it's a different light. Yeah.
I'm going down, be up.
Okay.
We hadden een klein probleem dat Barbara, er staat een lichtje op en ze ging steeds te veel naar voren. Dus het aantal shots is heel donker. Dus als we dat nog even over mogen doen. Nee? Dan moeten we stoppen dus nu.
Yeah, we do. We stop at 10. And if there's some shots that you really need, just put them down for your next team. Maybe they'll get it for you.
We mogen die 15 minuten niet hebben? 10 minuten niet hebben?
No, it's not going to be 10 minutes. Don't do it.
Okay. It's a wrap.
It's a wrap, guys and boys. And that was it, really. We never finished it, and I have no idea what's going to happen.
It was crazy. It was impossible. And it just stressed me out and pissed everyone off.
And I think that for most people, this exercise of making the short film, to be honest, in my honest opinion, is a waste of time.
Concentration. There we go. And action.
The workshops themselves are about a bunch of idiots, basically. Because if you want to make movies, you've got to be an idiot somehow. To me, film is energy, and it has to move you. It's not about the story, and it's not about the character to me. I want it to take me. How do you create? If we don't inspire each other, nobody will.
After the 911 shoot, the editors are really getting down to work, while the other participants will start the preparations for their own short film. The writers particularly have to think about some overtime.
For the screenwriters, this is the most difficult, the most tough time. We now have to finish our scripts. After that, it's the director, the producer, and it's out of our hands.
And there'll be changes anyway when the actors get the scripts.
And already we're now talking with producers. What do you need locations? What kind of actors? Do you need extras? Do you need props? Why do we need a shot here, a shot there?
You just have to let go. I mean, it's like, you know, the baby's ready, the baby has to go and walk. And with actors, I don't mind if they change script, the wording, that because sometimes some words fit an actor better than what, you know, because I don't know the actors. If it's something I really feel it shouldn't work, then I'll talk with the director, but ultimately it's his decision.
If you come up with an idea that really works, people would take that on board, accept that and do it. There's no real ego, it seems. Everyone's very, very good about just trying to find the best solution, which I think is all you can hope for in filmmaking, because there's always ego, but then when you get people who have ego, fine, but they're able to accept and make a decision and go with it and work as a team, that's so important, and that's really, really the most important thing.
Back in the MC room, Rutger's attending a class with all the actors present. Every student has to be there, and for the first time they can see their actors on a set.
This is really an incredible moment, because now I see that what I've written is actually played for the first time by actors.
Do you honestly think that you're going to get a chance against me?
I just want to hear you read. I don't want to hear you act. I want to hear the scene. It'll calm you down. Let's not start acting right away. It's only going to take 10 seconds. You just listen to each other, okay?
Yeah.
Good friend of mine. All this is just a formality.
Why do you always have to be such a bitch?
I feel something.
Why are you always such a bitch? Hmm? What did I ever do? It's like you hate my whole existence.
I'm just saying that I know the boss very well. I don't get pissed off when I get a job and you don't.
You don't even like the job.
It just, what happens? You have two different, you have subtext going, it just happens. The scene says one thing, and she's doing a whole different deal. It becomes a total different scene. Remember that. It's good stuff. I think what happened was that Mickey sort of caressed him with her hair, basically in the back of her head, and he responded immediately because he felt comforted or something about it. And it suddenly became a real, it was a first emotion. You can't do that the second time, it would be hard.
We both felt like that, and that came through.
Did I feel the chemistry? Yes, definitely. So that went great, yeah.
You saw that, right? You saw that, didn't you? Didn't you see that? I want an answer from you.
Yeah.
You didn't. You didn't feel that?
Yeah, I felt nothing.
And it comes out of the moment. And these moments are what I want as a director, okay? That is the coincidental piece of pearl you're looking for. If you didn't get it, you're really lucky. It really adds to the scene. It adds to the fucking everything, okay? And it's, what is it? Big deal. It's nothing. It happens all the time. Look for that. And they're not looking. They don't know how to look. They don't have a sense yet. Or they don't trust it. I'm not sure. You know, and that's what I'm trying to teach them. Watch for what's real.
So first there was nothing, then there were my words, and now the actors are doing it. It's magical.
Every team could choose which location they wanted for their films. The city of Rotterdam offers some beautiful sights and the opportunity to create true celluloid heaven.
I sort of traveled from set to set to set and sort of, just wandered around just like everybody else out of let's say the mentor people. And we would feed them with certain ideas if they were open to it. Magic.
Silence for
Take your time. This version, I just got this one just now because they all worked on, they had drafts and they've been rewriting and have asked for the 6 versions of the different scripts. And this is the one that I was missing. I didn't get that this morning, so I'm going to take a look at it now and see what they did and altered or something.
Everybody's doing this masterclass and everybody paid this money and everybody, So I think it must be more of a group thing making this film than one director who makes a film.
She has a beautiful smile.
See? The guy's giving her a bird or something made out of a piece of paper. After he gives it to her, the wind should really take it. We had great wind that day, so it was great. It was a great idea. And then when they started shooting, the wind suddenly dropped. And of course, we only had like 10 minutes. And I said, come on, shoot it again. And I grabbed one of those things so I would get, waft and see if it would work that way. And what was cute was they started shooting again, and then the wind picked up, and I was getting ready to get some, wafted away from her, and then the wind just took it. That sort of. I love that stuff.
We try things out now, and it's far more an open work situation than the situation where only the director and the DOP are talking.
After 3 days, the teams were busy finishing the 911 film. Because of the difficulties during the shoot, they only got 2 shots. They were forced to be creative.
Hi, well, we're on our way to shoot some extra shots because we had some complications last night in our first assignment.
There's a little, much black in this shot. And now I thought, well, if Jasper is shooting some with the camera just outside the car and just driving, just shooting all those lights and then we superimpose it, we put it on the shot. So it's like the reflections of the buildings in the window and off the car.
Yeah, the light's small there, and as it comes up, the windshield is
you
moving that way.
You prefer to be first?
We got the stuff in and we looked at it, and we weren't sure if it was working, so it was quite stressful, and we had 1 day left to shoot. So, and then we came together, we talked it through, and we came up with a good solution, and then we went off and we did it.
That's something you'll never ever forget. Because everybody was so down after Monday, because the first day, because it was such a mess.
We made some really interesting mistakes, and we really ended up with only 2 takes that we could edit it from that would fit.
But there was performance, so I thought, well, we have to focus on the actors, on what the strong moments are.
16, 15, 14, 13.
I don't think you're going to shoot yourself.
Well, we'll just see about that, won't we? 10, 9, 8,
You're
7.
full of it. You're not going to shoot yourself.
5.
Give it up. I just read my lines off, camera. Do you see it? No?
And then they have to bring in some rhythm. Just sometimes stay long in the shot, come closer to the actor, and suddenly pump up the rhythm, make it shorter, tighten the dialogues.
The performance really starts to come to life when you in the editor, when you take certain moments out of it. That's where the performance really starts to dance.
Try to make it faster and slower, and faster and slower.
And that's not me acting, that's the editor playing.
Yeah, and tell me why you haven't hung up.
Because I don't get it.
It's really simple.
I thought it wasn't a movie, and it is a movie, even if it's one shot, and even if you're disappointed at the moment, it is not what you had in mind. But it was great acting, and it was cut well.
Plus it had music. Plus it had funky elements that make it more funny. I've got another cigarette. I'm gonna smoke a cigarette.
You shouldn't smoke.
Right.
It's the chaos that Rutger creates, the madness, the total, complete shock and horror, basically, for nothing. Everything coming in different directions so much that I've learned so much about how things about myself that I never thought I'd know. I mean, things that are like kind of personal things as well, but also like things about working under such pressure. And I think it's really interesting to see that what seems like total madness actually ends up being real genius, and that's Rutger.
2, 1.
It was an experiment that I always wanted to do, to see if it would work. And it worked, so just all good, really good stuff.
Now that the filming is done, it's time for the post-production. With the experience of the 911 film, the participants know that in the edit you can still make a beautiful film, even though you wished you'd had more time on the set. Oh, and just one final detail.
Title?
You need a title?
Yeah, we need a title.
Okay, let's find one.
Okay.
Yeah, let's find one.
Yeah.
Let's find a title. Let's find a title.
Title maker.
Hello. Let's find a title.
With the girlfriend who broke up with him, he can't get her back. And he has to let go, but his way of letting go is hanging himself.
Right.
Shit happens.
Shit happens.
Yeah.
Well, it's called Shit Happens.
Oh.
Okay. Done.
Well, okay.
Unless you think of something that pops more.
No, but that's it.
That's
basically,
fine.
that's
Shit
it.
happens.
Yes,
Okay.
shit happens. Yes.
All right.
Yes. Thank you.
How are you guys doing?
Yeah, better than yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. And day before.
Oh, nice. Nice reveal, that one. Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you so much. I'm happy to see that you're on the track.
But I have to say one thing, that everything you said about the instinct,
Yeah.
it works.
You hate it?
No, no.
I thought you
it
hated
is like
it.
this, that everything I imagine and
Yeah,
thought.
it's just harder to get to for you
Yeah.
because you're having there's a different thing there going. It's great.
Thank you for watching and have a very good evening.
See you.
Yeah.
Movies are never finished, they're just abandoned, and meaning that you can always work on your films, and at a certain point you have to say, okay, this is as good as I'm going to get it now.
I think if you want to make a perfect movie, you should do it yourself, because then you are in control and everything is, to your opinion, perfect. But then somebody else watches your film, and then this person could say, well, I'm not really convinced. So I don't think it's, because we're humans, there's also not a perfect human. So you cannot have a perfect film as well.
But there will also be always be a point in time where you're going to watch your movie a few years later and think, maybe we could have done this or that.
Merci bien. Dit
And now, after the blood, sweat and tears, it's time for the champagne, smiles and kisses. The premiere from the film takes place at a gala evening at the International Film Festival Rotterdam. And with the films not yet shown, Rutger is already planning for next year.
Next year, if I have the DVD with the documentary and the 7 shorts on it, I will be, it's a complete circle. Then we can move on from there and just wait to see that happen. So, but for now, enjoy these first or second steps of these people who just had such a hard time turning into filmmakers gone wild.
nice quotes. But I slept only for 2 hours, so I can't really read it. Sorry.
That's okay. Problems is what made it interesting. It was all the problems that made it what it is. And I think whatever happens next year when you do it again, make sure that they're kind of on their toes all the time, because that's the thing that really pushed me. It made me learn, and that's the thing I've got out of it so much. It's the really greatest thing. So Rutger's got it right.
I would love to come back next year.
I wish them the best, but what the whole point of the course was that they would feel that, and that they would deliver a movie in way less time than is normal. And we did that, you know, and that's why it's called Film Factory. We pound it out, and we can do it.